What up gamers, I'm Sir Mav and welcome to another E3 2019 recap. Today we're going to be discussing a new game within the Watch Dogs franchise, one of my favorites, Watch Dogs Legion. Now we've been to the bustling city of Chicago, tracked our way through the hip spots of San Francisco, and now we're going out of the States to the vast city of London within this new Watch Dogs title. Now what's interesting is the cycle that this franchise has taken. The first Watch Dogs with Aiden had a very dark and somber story to it, but the elements at the core of the game were still the same, hacking. That's right, you could hack just about anything to make your way to the ending, and that's what really gives the Watch Dogs franchise its unique edge. Move to the second title with Marcus, and Watch Dogs 2 definitely showcased a more of an edgy feel to it, bringing in new ways to hack, more customization, and showcasing a plethora of ways to interact with other NPCs. Well, Watch Dogs Legion has completely thrown out the script, excluding the core of hacking though, and we are now about to embark in the most innovative Watch Dogs title yet. Ready to hear more?
This had better be fucking good.
I thought so. As I stated, Watch Dogs Legion takes place in the city of Merrio, London, England. Well, maybe not as merry anymore and definitely not old. Taking somewhat of a foreshadowing approach, the timeline of Legion takes place after Brexit, which I'm sure most of you have been following in the news as of late. But after Brexit in this alternative universe, London is now facing its downfall thanks to state surveillance, a private military, cults roaming the city, and what would a game be without the mafia? Rising automation has now devastated the economy of London, the robots took your job, and the government has been quite ineffective at reviving this steep drop, leaving corporations the freedom to step in and take control. Quite your Big Brother is watching you sci-fi scenario. But one thing the Watch Dogs team has been great at is the atmosphere within the worlds they create. And I think the team has totally nailed this world from the looks of the gameplay showcased at E3 this year. From the aesthetics, the far out colors, and of course the rebellious DedSec mask, this looks to be the best Watch Dogs yet within the franchise. But the aesthetics, the upgrades and hacking mechanics, a brand new melee system, and a wider range of weapons isn't what makes the concept of this new game amazing. No, the real innovative kicker here within Watch Dogs Legion is that you play as anyone, and I mean anyone. Remember back in the first two Watch Dogs titles where you could simply look at other NPCs and the hacking system would reveal some details about them. Sometimes it would be a backstory, you could listen in or even read their phone conversations. Well, now Ubisoft has taken this a whole step further. NPC no longer stands for non-playable character. There's no main protagonist within this title. Each and every NPC could be your protagonist and you recruit any of them. Anyone you see on the street could be a part of this resistance. Whether a brawler, a fashionista, or an ex-spy, each have their own backstory and their own set of useful skills and perks that you can view before even recruiting them. Once chosen, you go through this sort of origin mission to recruit them into your roster. So if for some reason the recruit you're looking for gets into some trouble and gets incapacitated, say for talking smack to an authoritative figure within the state, you'll then have to make a choice. Either help them right then and there, or wait till they're detained and break them out later. And this is just one of the scenarios that was shown during the initial gameplay at E3. But wait, there's more. Every action you take now in this Watch Dogs title has consequences, and I mean dire consequences. Say you decide to help out that recruit, but it requires you taking out some authority figures from the military. Well, now you are placing that character you are currently playing as at risk. But if you use non-lethal force on an enemy, they may just subdue you and arrest you. But if you shoot to kill, you risk having your character permanently killed if you can't get away in time. And that's right, there's a permadeath mechanic in Watch Dogs Legion, and once a character is dead, they are gone forever and their skills with them. Luckily, the characters you recruit can be upgraded. You can personalize each member to your liking, making them a more powerful resistance member within your roster. And you can also level up different skill sets from hacking to stealth moves and even all-out assault training. How advanced this progression system is, we just don't know yet, but it seems that each character has 3 perk slots that can be unlocked. The first perk is likely unlocked at level 5, while the second and third perks will be unlocked at level 10 and 15, respectively. It also seems that there are 3 classes of NPCs that you can recruit out in the world of Watch Dogs Legion. From what we can see in the demo, there's Infiltrator, your covert operators, Enforcers if you fancy a go loud scenario, and Hacker. Infiltrators are experts in stealth and melee combat, and with the new melee system you can be more lethal than ever. Melee combat in Watch Dogs now has blocks, dodges, and counters allowing you to be more versatile within your combat, especially when using a gun just sometimes might not be the right approach. Enforcers are rather simple. They are your ultimate foot soldiers, in-depth knowledge with guns, and can utilize explosives to their full effect. And last we have the hackers. Again, definition not needed. Just like in previous titles, you can also customize your roster further through unique outfits and iconic masks to hide their identity while they engage in some chaos across the city. And just like within the original titles, everything in the city can be weaponized. From people's phones to vehicles, everything is at your disposal. Since there are drones across the city all over the place, you can now hijack armed combat drones and even deploy stealthy spider bots that can do the dirty work for you. Oh, and remember when I stated you could play as anyone? Ubisoft literally means anyone. Form a posse of ex-super spies from MI5 or even experienced elderly park ladies that feed the birds in the park on the daily. Do what you want, it's your choice. Just remember the old ladies got skills too, especially ex-assassins. They may not be agile, but they get the job done. From what was showcased in the demo footage, it looks like you'll be able to max out at a total of 20 recruits. So that's 20 resistant members you can upgrade and switch between at any time within the game. Think of it like GTA 5 when you had the 3 protagonists but on steroids. You might even wake up on the side of the street with a dress on, who knows? But regardless of which you choose, if one of your characters die, they're gone forever. So you'll need to choose wisely depending on the mission you'll be undertaking within the game. Another interesting thing we learned from E3 is that it seems now that all civilians within the game have a neural lens of some sort. So now if you're utilizing the infiltrator recruit and have the proper abilities, you can actually hack in and mask yourself from the authorities and other NPCs around you. Pretty nifty cloaking device if you ask me, so you might want to think about it for a minute before you start buying the latest smart lens of the future. Now, given this is Ubisoft, it seems they've taken some innovation from the past Assassin's Creed titles. Every NPC within Watch Dogs Legion has their own route and life that they live out in the world. So if you're looking for a specific NPC, you can actually hack into the database, search for them, and find out their schedule to know where they'll be at any given time of day. Pretty nifty if you're looking for that certain recruit that you tagged a little bit earlier in the game. But what I love about all these new mechanics that are coming to the game is everyone's playthrough will be different. Some players will go in guns blazing, others stealth, and some may not even have to enter a restricted zone at all. Hell, in the demo, we saw this one recruit in the roster named Naomi who went full on John Wick within the Camden market. Now that I can get into. As I said, you make the choices which in turn provide a different experience for everyone. One thing about it too, even in alpha, the movement and combat looks so smooth while watching the demo at E3. Very promising considering the game launches on March 6th, 2020. What gets me though is, how far does the ripple of our choices actually go within this game? At the end of the gameplay demo, you hear the new recruit ask what happened to the other fella who helped him out earlier. What if that character had not died, and he was the one that completed the origin mission of breaking out the recruit? Or what if he was able to recruit him without even having to go into the lockup? I'm just really curious how far these ripples go within the different choices that are made within the game. It seems, as just an example, say you accidentally kill one of the recruits during an engagement. The dev stated, well, their lover within the world of Legion may not be too happy with DedSec after that, thus making them harder to recruit if they just so happen to have the set of skills you need for your roster. Apparently they can still be recruited, but they will require more persuasion than what was originally needed. All in all though, I love this new innovative mechanic and how it ties back to Newton's law of physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So the choices you actually make within the game have consequences and will make things either harder or easier on you and your DedSec team. With all that said though, my only concern is that there may be holes within the storyline due to every NPC being a playable character. I mean, think of all the work that has to be done in order for every possible storyline to be portrayed properly in game based on your choices. Who are you playing at the time and whose voice is being used? The complexity that this brings to the game is just insane to think about. One simple choice, or playing as one different character, can form a quadruplex of ripples that can flow throughout the storyline. So it's hard to say how the system will fare once we stray away from the 40-minute demo that most people played at E3. Even with that amount of playtime, you're not even scratching the surface of the plot of the story. So it's really hard to say, but I'm hopeful that Watch Dogs Legion can embellish the same cinematic storytelling that the first two sequels portrayed. But I guess we'll just have to find out on its release to all platforms in March. But with that gamers, if anything new pops up, I'll be sure to shoot on over the intel within another video. With that, if you enjoyed the info, give this video a like and tap fire subscribe for intel on gaming. I'll catch y'all in Mario, London, but until next time gamers, this is Sir Mav, signing off.